Welcome back to the Leaderboard. Today we're going to take a look at the life and times of Doomslayer. Before we get started, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more like this. Alright, let's jump right in. Classic Doom, Doom 2, and Doom 64. The Doom Marine was originally a human from Earth who served in the Marines and was dishonorably discharged for assaulting his commanding officer after refusing to fire on a crowd of unarmed civilians. He was subsequently transferred to the UAC Phobos base as security. The Marine soon found himself trying to prevent the demons of hell from invading Earth. After battling demonic hordes through Phobos, Deimos, and Hell, he returned home to find Earth overrun by demons. Among the billions killed were his family, including his pet rabbit Daisy, giving him further motivation to hunt the demons. He continued fighting the horde on Earth before taking the fight to Hell once more. Following this, the Marine was decommissioned. Some years later, he was called upon again to fight a hellish force attacking a space station, prompting him to return to Hell where he defeated the mother of all demons. To save Earth, he decided to close the portal from inside Hell and continue the fight against the demons. The mother's sister, Resurrector, sought vengeance and teleported him to Earth to kill him there. But he fought his way back to Hell and defeated her. Once more, he chose to remain in Hell to fend off the demons. Before Doom 2016. At some point, the Doom Marine became stranded on the world of Argent D'Nur, ending up in a different dimension entirely after his indefinite stay in Hell, possibly sent there by demons, similar to how the Resurrector sent him to Earth in Doom 64. There, he was captured by the world's inhabitants, the Argenta, and brought before the Order of the Dig in Sentinel Prime. The Argenta could not understand his language, as his mind was crippled with rage and he only spoke about demons. Amusingly, they described his English as an ugly tongue. The priests decided to put him through a trial by combat in the Blood Arena to determine whether he would gain his freedom. Eventually, the Marine, dubbed the Outlander by the Argenta, proved himself to be extraordinarily skilled, earning their admiration. This garnered the attention of the clergy and ruling powers of Argent D'Nur, including the Khan Maker herself. Despite being an Outlander, he was taken in and trained in their military, serving to spread the teachings of the Maker race. Inevitably, Argent D'Nur was invaded by demons, and the Marine immediately entered the fight. His fervor for their destruction soon caught the attention of King Novik, who deemed him worthy to join the Knight Sentinels. Initially, the traditionalists of the Knight Sentinels were reluctant to allow the Marine into their ranks, as the order forbade accepting arena-born prisoners or foreigners. However, over time, the Outlander earned their utmost respect by proving his skills and unwavering determination in slaying Hell's demonic legions, becoming the Order's brother in arms. The Marine participated in a pivotal battle against the Dreadnought, a monstrous titan sent to lead a total demonic assault on the heart of Argent D'Nur. As the Sentinels were nearly overwhelmed by the demons, the Marine was approached by a Maker known as the Seraphim, who offered his help to defeat the Dreadnought. He was brought to the Chapel of Purity and submitted to the Divinity Machine, which blessed him with fierce speed and great power to match his will. Using his newfound powers, the Marine took the Crucible, a weapon reserved for a true Sentinel warrior king, and used it to slay the Dreadnought, planting the blade inside the beast's heart. From then on, the Sentinels deemed the Marine a chosen hero, and he gained his infamous title, the Doomslayer. The Slayer led the Knight Sentinels deeper into Hell, achieving many victories and unwittingly allowing the Khan Maker to build factories in Hell's domains to harvest Hell essence to produce Argent energy, while endorsing the Slayer's name as the will of the Makers. The Slayer did not care about the politics of the Sentinels and the Makers, as he was too focused on destroying the demons. Consequently, he remained unaware of the Maker's insidious secret of harvesting Argent energy from mortal souls at the cost of working with the demons. After the truth of the Maker's betrayal was revealed, the Slayer remained loyal to the Sentinels and opposed the Khan Maker. After years of fighting in a civil war against both demons and the loyalists who sided with the Makers, an opportunity to end the war was supposedly discovered. At the behest of the Order of the Dig, the Doomslayer accompanied the Knight Sentinels to Hell, hoping to secure a final victory against the demons. However, they realized too late that the priests had betrayed them to the Khan Maker. The Slayer and the Knight Sentinels were left stranded in Hell and endlessly fought the infinite demon hordes. One by one, the Knight Sentinels were killed, save for the Doomslayer and Valen. Valen had allowed the demons access to the elemental wraiths in exchange for his son's resurrection. When Argent D'Nur fell, Valen, now known as the Betrayer, chose to stay in Hell for the remainder of his days in self-imposed exile. The Doomslayer, on the other hand, continued his endless killing spree. Over time, the demons themselves grew to fear him. A Titan was chosen as Hell's champion and sent to kill the Slayer, only to be killed by him. Having failed to kill the Slayer at every attempt, the demons instead lured him into a blood temple and collapsed the entire structure on top of him. Trapped beneath the ruin, the Slayer was entombed within a sarcophagus and frozen in stasis within the Kadingir Sanctum. The reason why the demons didn't kill him is unknown. He remained there for an extremely long time, until he was found and recovered by a Union Aerospace Corporation, or UAC, expedition led by Dr. Samuel Hayden, while procuring demon specimens and Hell artifacts. Hayden led his forces in defeating the demons fiercely guarding the sarcophagus and took the Slayer to the UAC facility on Mars. Upon identifying the Slayer and his armor from within the Helix Stone, and suspecting his employee and former protege Olivia Pierce, Samuel had the sarcophagus hidden in a concealed location within the UAC facility. Suspecting Olivia's pact with Hell and her plans for the Mars facility, Samuel intended to release the Doomslayer in the event of the UAC losing control of its demonic experiments. Doom, 2016. The Slayer is awakened by Samuel Hayden after an unspecified period, amidst a demonic invasion of Mars instigated by Olivia Pierce. Breaking out of the facility, he heads to resource operations to repair a satellite dish for a clearer assessment of the situation. Hayden intervenes, redirecting him to a Vega terminal to enhance his suit with an Argent cell. Progressing through the foundry, the Slayer prevents a meltdown by activating terminals and proceeds to the Argent Tower. Despite Hayden's directives, the Slayer destroys the filters that channel Argent energy, thwarting Pierce's attempt to open a Hell portal. However, upon confronting Pierce at the tower's summit, she uses an Argent accumulator to breach a rift into Hell, transporting the Slayer to Kadingir Sanctum. He fought his way through Kadingir Sanctum to reach his sarcophagus, and used portal equipment left by a previous UAC expedition to return to Mars. Upon arrival, he discovered the UAC facility overrun with demons due to the Hell portal providing easy access to the Red Planet. Confronting Samuel Hayden, Hayden instructed him to find the Helix Stone to locate the well and end the Hell invasion. Hayden also implanted a program into the Slayer's suit to teleport him back to Mars when needed. The Slayer journeyed to the Advanced Research Complex, retrieved the BFG 9000, and then proceeded to the heart of the cult activity on Mars. He entered the Lazarus Labs and battled the Cyber Demon, using its accumulator to teleport himself back into Hell. From there, he fought through the Titan Realm and the Necropolis to obtain the Demonic Crucible. After defeating its guardians, he retrieved the Crucible and was greeted by ghosts of the Sentinel Knights. Before any exchange could occur, he was abruptly teleported back to Mars, specifically to Vega's primary facility. To reach the well and cut off the power source keeping the portal open on Mars, the Slayer had to overload Vega's systems to rip a portal to the well. However, before overloading Vega's core, the Slayer paused and backed up a copy of Vega onto a thumb drive, which he took with him. At the well, the Slayer fought his way to each of the Wraith bodies, using the Crucible to absorb their energy and cut off the flow to the portal. Once the final Wraith was disabled, several Sentinels greeted the Slayer, standing guard around a pit leading to the final battle. Here he encountered Pierce, bloodied and in shock after being betrayed by her demonic masters. These same masters then struck her with a Crimson Lightning Bolt, transforming her into the Spider Mastermind, which the Slayer ultimately defeated. After this intense battle, Hayden intervened, pulling the Slayer back to Mars and restraining him there via the teleporter. Hayden took the Crucible from the Slayer, asserting that he would use it to continue producing Argent energy for humanity's benefit. Anticipating the Slayer's opposition to this plan, Hayden teleported him away to an undisclosed location. Doom Eternal. As a new demonic threat emerges on Earth, so does the Slayer, donning his iconic Praetor suit, which had been modified and upgraded for greater mobility and destructive power. For the Slayer, this battle has persisted for an eternity, a relentless struggle that can only be resolved by confronting his past if he intends to prevent history from repeating itself. Vega has developed an interdimensional man-machine gateway that enables the Slayer to engage in skirmishes across multiple dimensions. As the Slayer enters the gateway, the environment shifts into an arena, and adversaries materialize, ready for combat. These opponents appear familiar, yet transformed by an unseen force, drawn from the data of his previous experiences. Upon further analysis, Vega detected ephemeral distortions within the fabric of reality, scrambled reflections of the physical world. As the Slayer engages with this anomaly, a peculiar ripple in its composition surfaces, seemingly reacting reflexively to his presence. The anomaly begins to reshape itself, aligning to the Slayer's essence and responding to his memories, ancestral heritage, and mimetic data. Eventually, it projects itself onto the Slayer, integrating with him in a profound and transformative manner. Following the events on Mars, the Doomslayer returned from his banishment with the Fortress of Doom under Vega's control, only to find Earth overrun by demons. Determined to halt the demonic invasion, the Slayer set out to eliminate the masterminds behind it, the Hell Priests Deegs Nilox, Rannoch, and Grav. In his quest, he also clashed with the Khan Maker, who sanctioned the consumption of Earth to harvest human souls for Argent energy following the destruction of the well. The Slayer first dispatched Deeg Nilox before confronting Ranak and Grav, presenting their deceased colleague's severed head as a grim display. The intervention of the Khan Maker led to Ranak and Grav being teleported away, but failed to dissuade the Slayer from his mission. Seeking to locate the remaining Hell Priests, the Slayer journeyed to the Sentinel world of Exaltia to retrieve the Celestial Locator. There he encountered the ghost of King Novik, who advised him to abandon his crusade against Hell and the Makers, asserting that Earth was no longer his to save. Subsequently, the Slayer ventured into Hell to procure a power source for the Celestial Locator from the Betrayer. The Betrayer, in a poignant moment, requested the Slayer to end the life of his son, now transformed into the Icon of Sin, and entrusted him with a dagger to fulfill this task. Armed with the Celestial Locator, the Slayer tracked down Ranak in the former UAC Arctic facility, dispatching his Doom Hunters and decapitating the Hell Priest with the Doom Blade. This prompted the Khan Maker to relocate Deeg Grav to Sentinel Prime. Following Vega's advice, the Slayer sought out Samuel Hayden to locate the final Hell Priest. At the Ark complex, he retrieved Hayden's damaged robotic body and recovered the Crucible, as Hayden had anticipated his return and instructed the Ark caretakers to give the blade to the Slayer. During this retrieval, the Slayer faced a corrupted Night Sentinel, a Marauder, who attacked him but was swiftly defeated. After uploading Hayden's mind into the Fortress of Doom, the Slayer learned from him about Grab's whereabouts, and that the portal to Sentinel Prime was accessible through the city of Hebeth and Mars's core. Using the massive BFG 10,000 at a UAC facility on Phobos, the Slayer blasted a hole in Mars to reach Hebeth. Upon arriving in Sentinel Prime, the Slayer battled and slew the Gladiator, then confronted Grav, ultimately ending him with a blast from his super shotgun, causing his head to explode. However, the sacrilegious act of killing Grav on sacred ground led to the Slayer's excommunication from the Night Sentinels. Following the demise of the last Hell Priest, the Slayer found himself momentarily trapped on the fortress by the Khan Maker. She remotely deactivated the structure to thwart the Slayer's interference and conceal her plan to awaken the Icon of Sin. However, the Slayer restored power to the fortress by utilizing the demonic crucible as its energy source. He then journeyed to Argent Dener to retrieve his original crucible, which he had previously used to slay the Dreadnought, intending to employ it against the Icon of Sin. Using the Crucible's blade to prevent the Dreadnought's resurrection, the Slayer kept only the Crucible's hilt and used it to forge a new blade. Guided by Hayden, the Slayer fought his way to the rooftop of Necroval and utilized its portal to travel to Urdak, the Maker realm where the Khan Maker was preparing to awaken the Icon. Interrupting the ceremony, the Slayer plunged the Betrayer's dagger into the Icon's heart, destroying it and freeing the Icon of Sin from Maker control. This act shattered the dimensional barrier between Urdak and Hell, allowing demons to breach their pact with the Makers and invade Urdak directly. In a fierce battle, the Slayer confronted and killed the enraged Khan Maker. Afterward, he returned to Earth to face the Icon of Sin, but had to leave Vega behind on Urdak to open a portal to Earth. Following an intense struggle, the Slayer ultimately killed the Icon by driving the Crucible into its head. With the Icon, along with the Hell Priests and the Khan Maker defeated, the demons were momentarily vanquished. The Ancient Gods, Part 1. Despite the Doomslayer's triumph over the Icon of Sin and halting Hell's invasion of Earth, victory came with sacrifices. The death of the Khan Maker and Hell's subsequent conquest of Urdak provided demons an opportunity to expand their dominion across dimensions and resume their assault on Earth. To prevent this dire scenario, the Doomslayer, along with Samuel Hayden and Ark scientists, embarked on a mission to locate and free his ally, the Seraphim. Traveling aboard an Ark carrier towards the UAC Atlantica facility, the Slayer fought through hordes of demons to reach the Seraphim's containment pod. Surprisingly, it was revealed that the Seraphim and Hayden were one and the same entity. Returning to the Ark carrier, the Seraphim entrusted the Slayer with a new task: retrieve the Father's life sphere from the treacherous blood swamps of Hell to restore the Father to physical form. Navigating through the perilous blood swamps, the Slayer located and secured the Father's life sphere. However, instead of handing it over to the Seraphim, the Slayer chose to destroy the sphere. In an unexpected turn, he retrieved the Dark Lord's life sphere and returned to the Ark carrier. Despite most of the Ark carrier's crew evacuating upon seeing the Dark Lord's life sphere, a lone intern remains determined to assist the Slayer in reaching Urdak, believing the Slayer intends to resurrect and vanquish the Dark Lord, thereby eliminating all demons. Arriving at the corrupted Urdak, the Doomslayer battles through demonic forces to reach the Luminarium, where life spheres can be activated. However, upon reaching the entrance of the Luminarium, the Slayer confronts the Seraphim, now corrupted by Urdak's demonic influence and transformed into a demon. After a fierce and protracted battle, the Slayer triumphs over the corrupted Seraphim, who is then teleported away by the Father. Despite being warned by the father that bringing the Dark Lord into physical form is irreversible, the Doomslayer proceeds with his mission to summon him. The Ancient Gods Part 2. As the Slayer fires a shot at the Dark Lord in the Luminarium, he's informed that no blood may be shed there. The Dark Lord declares that if the Slayer survives, he will face ritual combat in Hell's capital city, Imora. The Dark Lord then departs, and the Slayer is transported to Argent Dener, where he defends himself from attacking hordes. In Argent Dener, the Slayer defies the Maker's strict laws by lighting the Torch of Kings. He informs the inhabitants of Argent Dener and the remaining Sentinel tribes of his quest to obtain a Wraith Crystal to power the Gate of Divum. Riding his dragon, he travels to the World Spear, where he encounters the hologram of Valen. Valen bestows upon the Slayer his Sentinel Hammer, now imbued with a blue hue. At the World Sphere, the Slayer learns that it is not just a crystal, but a colossal colony ship housing thousands of wraiths. Taking the Wraith Crystal, the Slayer returns to Earth, now reclaimed and free from demon invasion following the demise of the Icon of Sin. Battling through remaining demons, he reaches the Gate of Divum and activates it. Through this gateway, he journeys to Imora, the capital city of Hell, where the Dark Lord resides. Navigating past the demonic horde outside the gate and encountering non-demonic inhabitants within, the Slayer presses onward through a final portal. Here, he confronts the Dark Lord face to face. In the climactic battle, the Slayer and the Dark Lord engage in combat, during which it's revealed that the Father was not the true creator. Instead, the Dark Lord Davoth explains that he created Jakad, then the Father, the Makers, and all other realms in his quest to find a cure for mortality. Vega, confirming this revelation, affirms its truth. After a fierce struggle, Davoth is defeated, and he asks the Slayer if he has any final words before delivering the killing blow to his creator. The Slayer stoically responds with a simple no. With Davoth's death, all demons outside of Hell vanish. However, the Doomslayer, due to his connection to Davoth through the Divinity Machine, which was powered by a piece of Davoth, falls unconscious. The Makers, acknowledging his importance, place him in a sarcophagus until his skills are needed again. Doom 2016 Codex Entries. UAC Report File H8UM66S. In ancient times, in the earliest conflict, when shadows first stretched across the land, one individual stood tall. Scorched by the flames of Armageddon, his soul seared by the fires of hell and corrupted beyond salvation, he embraced an existence of endless suffering. Fueled by insatiable hatred, he knew no respite, relentlessly scouring the dark realms in pursuit of vengeance against the malevolent lords who had betrayed him. Adorned with the crown of the Night Sentinels, those who faced the edge of his blade bestowed upon him a fearsome title, the Doomslayer. UAC Report File 9REIZDUR. Forged in the crucible of Hell's Inferno, his unwavering resolve endured the trials that broke others. He was the Hellwalker, the unchained predator, driven by a relentless thirst for vengeance across all realms, whether in darkness or light, amidst fire or ice, from the dawn of time to its final hour. He pursued the minions of doom with savage ferocity, transcending barriers no demon had dared to cross before him. UAC Report File HR93TE1F. In his relentless campaign against the damned souls of the doomed, his unmatched prowess shone brightly. Empowered by the Seraphim, he was granted formidable strength and unmatched speed, using his might to shatter the obsidian pillars of the blood temples. With unwavering determination, he mercilessly confronted the beasts of the infernal realms. Unbreakable, incorruptible, and unwavering, the Doomslayer waged his crusade to bring an end to the dominion of the Dark Realm. UAC Report File I3S5A9XB. His era of reckoning was beyond measure. Across countless eons, scribes etched his name deep into the tablets of hell, and with each battle, terror gripped the hearts of demons. They anticipated his coming, for he arrived as he always had, and always would, to revel in the blood of the wicked. Only he could derive strength from his fallen adversaries, and with each triumph, his power surged, swift and relentless. UAC Report File ZPHVM41A. None could withstand the relentless horde, except the Doomslayer. Despair swept ahead of him like a plague, instilling fear in the denizens of darkness and driving them deeper into shadowed abysses. But from the depths emerged the Great One, a champion surpassing all before him. The Titan, possessing immeasurable power and ferocity, strode onto the battlefield to confront the Doomslayer, and a monumental clash ensued on the desolate plains. The Titan fought with the rage of countless fallen foes, but ultimately succumbed, leading to the rout of the Shadow Horde in his defeat. UAC report file WMHVVFJ. In his relentless wrath across realms and through ages, the Hellwalker encountered the outcast who remained faithful to his dark cause, though his name remained unspoken. In defiance of all, the outcast adorned the Doomslayer in formidable armor, crafted in Hell's fiery forges, impervious and steadfast. Armed with a sword and shield of adamantine strength, the Doomslayer embarked on a quest to cast into oblivion all that remained unbroken by his relentless onslaught. UAC report file JSLR7ESL. Yet, as the mighty Titan fell, and dread gripped the legions of doom, the demon priests of the Blood Temples devised a trap to ensnare this scourge of hell. Despite his insatiable hunger, even after vanquishing the Great One, the Hellwalker sought his prey within the tombs of the Blood Keep. Blinded by his relentless pursuit, he was lured into their trap. The priests collapsed the temple upon the Doomslayer, entombing him within the cursed sarcophagus. The mark of the Doomslayer was seared upon his tomb, a dire warning to all of hell that the terror within must never be unleashed. There he remains, in eternal silence and suffering. Doomslayer, Quake Champions. Quake Champions character background. The most significant find by the UAC occurred in Hell's Kadinger Sanctum. Encircled by treacherous terrain, the expedition unearthed a sealed tomb adorned with protective runes and binding spells. Within the tomb, numerous artifacts were uncovered, among them the Praetor suit. Of particular intrigue was a colossal sarcophagus securely fastened to the bedrock of the heart of the tomb with sturdy iron bands, evidently designed to prevent any entry or exit. The sarcophagus, initially thought to contain a rare or formidable demon, ultimately revealed the preserved body of a man. Known as the Doomslayer, he is characterized by an unyielding and relentless drive, fueled by an uncontainable rage. His exploits in Hell have left a trail of devastation and subjugation of demonic forces. Despite being elusive with scant documented records, eyewitness accounts depict him as a merciless and formidable warrior. In another universe, long ago and across different worlds and timelines, the Doomslayer, also known as BJ Blazkowicz, emerged as a celebrated hero after saving Earth from an invasion by demons from Hell. He carries with him the left hind foot of his beloved pet rabbit, Daisy, slain during the demonic onslaught. A poignant symbol of innocence lost rather than a talisman of luck. The distinctive armor he wears has become iconic and left an indelible mark on the world. At a certain juncture, the Doom Marine, wide-eyed and newly stationed on Mars once more, encountered more than he had bargained for when Dr. Betriger betrayed the UAC. Amidst his efforts to safeguard Earth, he found himself ensnared in Hell, locked in an unending struggle against demonic forces. Spanning time and realms, he embarked on missions to preserve the multiverse. At times, he was summoned to combat other champions hailing from distant worlds and alternate Earths within the Arena Eternal. During this period, he acquired a new suit of armor that was perfectly tailored to his needs. His legacy as a formidable champion persisted as he valiantly defended numerous worlds against the demonic incursions and engaged in relentless battles within Hell. The Slayer's testaments depict him as an ancient and enigmatic warrior known as the Doomslayer or Hellwalker, a figure who either faced banishment to Hell or willingly chose to remain there. For countless eons, he unleashed a relentless campaign of death and destruction across Hell's domains, instilling terror in all demons. His solitary crusade finally met a halt when he fell into a cunning trap, leading Hell's forces to collapse one of their own temples upon him. Entombed within a stone sarcophagus, he was sealed away, seemingly for eternity. Yet fate took a turn when the UAC, on an alternate Earth, retrieved the Doom Marine sarcophagus and transported it back to Mars. True to the Slayer's legend, upon Hell's invasion of Mars, he awakened once more with unyielding resolve. Reclaiming his Praetor suit and armed with a pistol, he plunged back into battle against the demonic hordes. His valiant efforts ultimately saved Earth, but soon after he was apprehended by Hayden and placed into stasis once more, where the scientist devised his next moves. In Quake canon, the Champions games serve as a prequel to the Arena games like Quake 3 Arena Live. However, there is a chronological switch regarding when the Doom Marine was pulled into the Arena Eternal. Specifically, the Doomslayer entered the Arena Eternal during the earlier Champions competition, whereas an earlier incarnation known as Doom participated in the later Arena competitions. Doomslayer Timeline, Quake Champions, Doom 1993/Thy Flesh Consumed. BJ Blazkowicz and his squad are dispatched to Phobos base after UAC's teleportation experiments unleash hell on Mars's moons. Accompanied by Doomguy, they investigate, but a demonic invasion wipes out everyone except Doomguy. Alone, he embarks on a mission to eliminate the demons. Doom Guy travels through a portal to hell where he confronts and defeats the spider mastermind. Upon his return to Earth, Doom Guy discovers his family murdered and his pet bunny Daisy decapitated by demons. Fueled by rage, he battles the demon forces sent ahead by the spider mastermind, seeking revenge for the lost loved ones and a beloved pet. Doom Guy keeps a torn photo of his family and a lucky rabbit's foot from Daisy with him at all times. He has since gotten a new, much more alive Daisy. Doom 2/No Rest for the Living/Final Doom. After the battle on Mars's moons, the Doom Marine returns to Earth only to find it overrun by demons. The surviving humans plan to evacuate the planet, but the last operational spaceport is controlled by Hell. Doom Guy fights to reclaim the spaceport, enabling the remaining humans to escape into space. Following this, he journeys into the demon's portal on Earth to shut it down, successfully defeating the icon of sin in the process. With the portal closed, humanity begins the process of rebuilding on Earth. In Final Doom, the story continues with the Doom Marine, or possibly another character, facing and destroying 2 additional icons of sin. One of these battles takes place after Hell invades Jupiter's moon Io, and the other occurs following another invasion on Earth, both invasions being brought about by further experimentation with interdimensional gateways. The method by which the Doomslayer traverses worlds and time may be the least significant aspect of his saga. What is clear is that nearly all the games seem to unfold within a single Earth timeline, albeit in various forms. While the idea of a parallel Earth hasn't been explicitly confirmed within the Doom series, it's hinted at in the artwork of Doom Eternal. Doom 64 Lost Levels. On Mars's moon, something survived. The Mother Demon, striving to revive Hell's fallen armies. Doom Guy returns to the moon to clean up the mess, ventures once more into Hell, and defeats the Mother Demon. This time, however, he chooses to seal the portal from within. He resolves to stay in Hell indefinitely, ensuring the demons can never escape again. Its counterpart, the Resurrector, seeks vengeance against the Marine, banishing him back to Earth and attempting to kill him. He battles through another UAC base, returns to Hell, and exacts revenge on the Resurrector. Once again, he embarks on his relentless crusade through Doom, slaying more demons of Hell. And that, my friends, is the life of the Doomslayer, or Doom Guy, or the Doom Marine, whatever you want to call him. Actually, let us know in the comments, what do you call him? Which Doom game is your favorite? Are you excited for Doom the Dark Ages, a prequel that will hopefully add even more intricacy to this lore? Although I guess nobody was ever really playing Doom for the lore, were they? Let us know what you're thinking down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.